years, heist films have captivated audience. But today, we're going to hear about the real thing, including brazen midday tech thefts, one of the sneakiest car thefts you've ever seen, and a massive heist committed by senior citizens. Hold on tight, subscribe to the channel, and let's take a closer look at the 10 most ingenious thefts in history. Number 10. $1 Million Pharmacy Raid, December 31st, 2015. On New Year's Eve, 2015, two masked men broke into a SuperVal pharmacy in Euless, Texas. Two well-equipped masked men with a plan, that is. This surveillance footage shows the two men as they expertly avoid the motion detectors, seeming to have as much time as they need to work. Which is a good thing because despite their intricate knowledge of the security system, they did spend over 5 minutes trying to replace the wheel on the grinder. From there out, they worked like a well-oiled machine, breaking through the side of the safe with the grinder and hammer before emptying it of particular drugs. What's more, they even improvised by using cough syrup to cool the metal as they cut away. After emptying the safe, they spent an additional 10 minutes searching the pharmacy shelves before calmly letting themselves out, without ever triggering an alarm. And if you thought this heist was ingenious, wait till you see our number 1 entry, the largest unsolved art theft in American history. Before we go on, like this video, pop the subscribe button, and ring the notification bell right now, or the ghost in your closet will manifest itself tonight. Number 9. ATM Hoist 2019. Stealing an ATM, while increasingly common, is also shockingly hard. First of all, explosives have to be carefully chosen and placed in order to not trigger heat-reactive alarms, or die packs installed for this very reason. Instead, many thieves opt to just take the entire ATM, typically using a tow chain and a large truck. But then comes the hard part, lifting the nearly 300-pound machine into a vehicle. Realizing all these obstacles, a group of thieves in Ireland known as the Untouchables have found a way to render pretty much any and all precautions useless. These ingenious thieves steal a digger from a nearby construction site, and then drive to an outdoor ATM with a vehicular escort. Then, they simply dig out the ATM and load it into a waiting van or trailer before burning the digger and fleeing. They can accomplish the entire process in around 4 minutes, and have taken over 10 of the units. So far, a group was caught stealing an individual ATM, but they may not be linked to other robberies, which authorities have speculated may be an international operation of 3 or more separated units. Number 8. An Apple Store a day, July 7th, 2018 to July 23rd, 2018. Every time tech giant Apple releases a new product, people clamor relentlessly to get their hands on one before everyone else. But it's possible some people are getting a little carried away. In this video from July 7th, 2018, we can see one of many fast-paced Apple Store robberies that took place in 2018 across 19 countries in California, and totaled in excess of $1 million. By September of the same year, 17 had been charged for the crimes, but only 7 had been successfully apprehended, and the remainder had warrants issued for their arrests. Number 7. Tesla, August 21st, 2019. A Tesla is one of the world's most advanced automobiles, so you might imagine them to be nearly impenetrable thefts. But 2 thieves in Borehamwood, Hertfordshire, England, worked out a rather ingenious plan to steal one undetected. The entire ordeal was caught on a doorbell cam. The entire thing looks rather mysterious until you realize what's going on. The thieves' plan combines a little bit of technology and a little bit of psychology. The plan relies on patterns of human behavior. Vehicle FOBs allow the key holder to enter the vehicle without using a key, as long as the key's short-range radio signal is perceived by the vehicle. Typically, this requires the owner to be within a few feet or even inches of the vehicle. These car thieves, however, had figured out that the vast majority of people store the car keys near the front door. This meant that with a high-power signal booster, they could simply run an antenna-like structure from the front door of the vehicle, and the Tesla didn't know the difference, reacting as if the men had already had the key. In total, the theft of this high-end Tesla valued around $100,000 took all of 30 seconds to pull off, and can be easily used on any car with an FOB key. Number 6. The Great Train Robbery of 1963, August 8th, 1963. One of the most infamous heists in history, the Great Train Robbery of 1963 required a crew of 15 people, led by career criminal Bruce Reynolds, who considers the heist his greatest work, calling it his Sistine Chapel ceiling. In order to pull off the heist, they tampered with a railway signal, changing it from green to red, forcing the engineer to stop the train. The Royal Mail train came to a stop, and the crew overpowered the conductor and quickly made off with 120 bags full of Scottish and Irish currency and valuables. The crew could have easily taken more, but they ran out of time. Playing it safe, they fled with the bags, totaling 2.6 million euros or 55.5 million euros today, equivalent to about $71 million in US. After an extensive investigation, 11 of the men were captured, but the majority of the money was never recovered. And even the plan's mastermind, Bruce Reynolds, served just 9 years of his 25-year sentence. Number 5. Hatton Garden Deposit Burglary, April 2nd, 2015 to April 5th, 2015. Taking advantage of the 4-day Easter bank holiday in the United Kingdom, a group of elderly retired criminals took on one big job to go out with a bang. The group of 6 men aged 57 to 76 drilled massive holes into the safety deposit vault below Hatton Garden's deposit. Once inside, they made off with an astounding 14 million euros worth of stuff, all without tripping an alarm. Today, many of the perpetrators have been arrested, but just 4.3 million euros has ever been recovered, and most of the men received between 5 and 8-year sentences. Number 4. Dunbar Armored Vault Robbery, September 12, 1997. This meticulously planned crime involved 6 people entering the Los Angeles Dunbar Vault. The team was led by Alan Pace III, who is the company's regional safety inspector. This provided them with an inside man, Alan Pace, and analyzed the time movements of the security cameras, allowing the team to go in virtually as ghosts. Once inside, however, they faced the task of overthrowing the guards. When all that was out of the way, they simply walked out with $18.9 million and packed it into a U-Haul truck before driving away. For 2 years, no one had any idea where the team could be or who was all involved. Unfortunately, one of the accomplices, Eugene Lamar Hill, paid a real estate agent in cash banded in the original Dunbar straps. The agent was suspicious and contacted authorities, who quickly rounded up the whole group, who were sentenced to terms varying from 2.5 years to 24 million. To this day, $13 million remains unaccounted for. Number 3. Brazen Brazilian Bank Break-In, August 6, 2005. 3 months before the heist was executed, the gang of thieves rented commercial property to open a landscaping company in the center of Fortaleza, in Ceará, Brazil. The business, however, was just a cover for a 256-foot ventilated, lit, and air-conditioned tunnel that led directly to the Central Bank of Brazil. Once inside, they made off with 164,755,150 reals, equivalent to around 71.6 million US. To this day, just 20 million reals has been recovered, and authorities have arrested 54 people thought to have played a role in the heist. Number 2. The D.B. Cooper Air Heist, November 24, 1971. Northwest Orient Flight 305 from Portland to Seattle took off late in the afternoon on November 24, 1971. And unbeknownst to everyone on board, a tall, dark stranger was about to seize control of their flight course. Aboard their flight was a well-dressed, well-mannered 6'1" tall man. When they had reached a cruising altitude, he handed a flight attendant a small piece of paper. Assuming it was his phone number, she tossed it in her apron pocket. A few minutes later, he leaned over and told her that she had better read the note because he had a bomb. She read the note and was even shown the supposed bomb by the man traveling under the alias Dan B. Cooper. The flight landed at Seattle-Tacoma Airport, where D.B. Cooper released the passengers and a portion of the crew, retrieved a $200,000 ransom, 4 parachutes, and fuel for the next leg of their journey. He instructed the pilot to fly toward Nevada and to fly low with the landing gear down. He then locked the remaining crew members in the cockpit, and at an unknown point before they reached the destination, he parachuted from a special staircase at the bottom of the plane, known as an aft air stair. After a 45-year investigation, the FBI closed the investigation no closer to a lead than they ever had been. D.B. Cooper simply disappeared into the night. Number 1. Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum Theft, March 18, 1990. The Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum is home to some of the world's most prized artworks by some of the most famous names in the art world. And in 1990, it was the scene of the largest art heist in American history. So you might wonder how the thieves got in. A tunnel perhaps? Or a ventilation system? Well, as it happens, they used the front door. Disguised as police officers, they arrived in the early morning hours of March 18th, before subduing the two guards on duty, and over the next 81 minutes, they committed the largest cold case art heist in American history. Among the works stolen were works by artists like Rembrandt's, Vermeer, Degas, and 6 other one-of-a-kind historic artifacts. In total, the thieves walk off with approximately $600,000 in irreplaceable art. Police remain without any leads to this day, and the museum is currently offering a $10 million reward for information leading to the recovery of the priceless artwork. That's all for 10 most ingenious thefts in history. Which story was your favorite? Have you heard of similar heists? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to Trend Joint for more incredible videos. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.